Coming up on First at 4, the Woolly Worm Festival is underway in Beattyville after a tough year that included historic flooding. And a Hollywood star is involved in an accidental shooting on a movie set that left one person dead.
And it's chilly outside right now, but we have some warmer weather on the way. I'll have the latest coming up. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the 32nd Woolly Worm Festival kicked off today in Beattyville. And despite major weather setbacks in the town earlier this year, including historic flooding, the show must go on. WYMT's Chas Jenkins is on Main Street with more.
I'm here next to the original Woolly Worm sign, where, as you can see behind me, this year's festival is off to a great start. Canceled last year due to COVID-19, the festival is all about celebrating the cultural heritage of Lee County. Community leaders are interested to see the amount of revenue this year's festival will bring in, now that alcohol sales are allowed after the county recently turned wet. Lee County Judge Executive Chuck Caudill says while it may not be a lot, it will still help the city.
So I think it'll just be an added attraction or add a new flavor to the Woolly Worm thing, but it won't become a primary attraction here.
The festival runs until October 24th. In Beattyville, Chas Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
Much different look in that town than back in March. Good to see things are progressing there. Well, Caudill says they are highly encouraging all people to also follow CDC guidelines while they are at the festival.
We're trying to do a little clearing out as we've gone through the afternoon, but it's just not quite there like we would like to see at least some of that sunshine heading through the evening, so we remain on the chilly side and the overcast side as well. Camera from UVA-wise, they've had a couple of sun breaks today, but the overcast still overhead there, and same thing as we head out to I-75 at Mount Vernon. Plenty of cloud cover with us this afternoon. That has kept us on the cool side. Most of us in the middle 50s right now, which is even for this time of year below normal, and that will continue as we head into tonight. Pinpoint Doppler, the good news, it's a clean sweep. The bad news, we zoom out to satellite and radar. Just about the whole state, except for the far western part, is socked in with cloud cover. The good news, we've kept the showers across portions of Indiana and Ohio, so won't have to deal with those, I don't think, tonight. So if you're headed out to Friday night kickoffs, make sure you grab the coat, especially if you're headed out to our Appalachian Wireless game of the week between the Pikeville Panthers and the Hazard Bulldogs. Temperatures remaining steady in the low to middle 50s with plenty of cloud cover around as we head through the nighttime hours. We do have warm up on the way, though. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a bit. Steve?
All right. Thank you very much, Evan. The new Hulu miniseries Dope Sick follows the creation, distribution, and impact of the prescription drug OxyContin. Based on what was originally a book by Beth Macy, the series is now gaining widespread attention, especially from those who experienced the rollout of OxyContin firsthand. The series showcases Purdue Pharma's marketing strategy in targeting rural areas and the blue-collar workers within those areas for initial distribution. The show also dives into how easily accessible this drug was, ultimately increasing the opioid epidemic to new heights.
Cotton was in my mind, opening Pandora's box, and it's going to take us years, if not decades, to get that back in the box.
We'll have more on Eastern Kentucky's response to the new Hulu series coming up tonight at 6. One of Hollywood's biggest stars was involved in a shooting on a movie set that left one person dead and another seriously injured. Police in New Mexico are investigating whether actor Alec Baldwin's prop gun may have contained live ammunition. CBS's Anthony Pura has the latest from Los Angeles.
The unidentified 911 caller asked for help, saying 2 people had been accidentally shot on the set of the Western film Rust near Santa Fe, New Mexico. Alec Baldwin, the film's co-producer and star, fired a prop gun on set, resulting in the death of the movie's cinematographer, 42-year-old Helena Hutchins. Director Joel Souza was injured. According to Variety magazine, the Los Angeles prop union IATSE 44 sent an email to members saying the gun contained a live single round and the prop crew working in New Mexico was not part of their union. CBS News has been unable to confirm that information. Movie set weapons experts say even blanks used in prop guns can be deadly.
A blank is a round but without a projectile. So there's still a lot of force in there, there's still a lot of pressure and can be dangerous if not used safely.
There are also specific protocols to make sure no one is injured on set.
Nowadays, all weapons are checked, barrels are checked before any blanks are put into the weapon. There are lots of other protocols in place, including active training beforehand. There'll be rehearsals.
Hutchins Union, the International Cinematographers Guild, called her death a terrible loss and said it supports a full investigation.
I think word incredible is not to even begin to describe her personality. Really generous, really talented, really upbeat.
Baldwin is cooperating with authorities and says he has reached out to Hutchins' husband. He said he is heartbroken about the incident, issuing a statement on Twitter Friday morning saying there are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Halyna Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. Production on the film has been halted as the investigation intensifies. Anthony Pura, CBS News.
Hutchins' death is one of a handful of deadly gun accidents on television or movie sets. One resulted in the death of actor Brandon Lee, the son of actor Bruce Lee, in 1993 on the set of the film The Crow. Lee's family issued a statement saying, quote, "Our hearts go out to the family of Halyna Hutchins and to Joel Souza and all involved in the incident on Rust. No one should ever be killed by a gun on a film set, period." In the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth is home after spending one night in a London hospital. The 95-year-old monarch underwent tests on Wednesday after canceling a scheduled trip to Northern Ireland at the request of her doctors. Palace officials will not say why she needed to spend the night in the hospital, but say it was not COVID-19 related, and she is resting back at Windsor Castle. As for whether she will attend the Global Climate Summit in Glasgow later this month, sources say, quote, "We hope so." People across the UK expressed concern and sent well wishes to Queen Elizabeth after hearing the news of her hospitalization. While the role of the monarchy as a whole in the UK is heavily debated among the British people, many say they are still emotionally invested in the well-being of the world's oldest and longest reigning monarch, not only for her as a person, but what she represents on the world stage.
So obviously on a personal level, it's an individual. You feel for anyone who's in ill health. I don't think it's a particularly great time for her to be ill for the country. But obviously, you know, there's everything in place that if something does happen, then it'll be absolutely fine and taken care of. But she is doing rather well. She's in her late 90s, so these things are probably going to happen.
Palace officials assure the Queen is in good health and intends to return to her normal duties as of next week. Overdraft fees shot up to a record level this year. A new bank rate study shows the average cost to overdraw a checking account climbed to more than $33 in 2020. It's a cash cow for the banking industry, with banks bringing in about $9 billion annually from the combination of overdraft, ATM, and certain other fees in recent years. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Friday. The Dow closes up today more than 74 points. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. People looking for a chance to get out and do some good may want to take a closer look at events happening in their community tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow is National Make a Difference Day, a day when millions of people do something to improve the lives of others. Started in 1992, organizations across the nation encourage people to make a difference on the fourth Saturday in October. The holiday has become the largest national day of community service in the country. Straight ahead on First at 4, a look at some of the biggest high school football games across the mountains tonight as we get closer to the end of the regular season.
And an unsettled weather pattern looks to move in as we move forward. We'll have the very latest straight ahead.